Okay, I'm going to do my video for Challenge 4 and talk about the problems that we were given and how I solved those. As you can see from this right here, I've changed the game from what it originally was supposed to be, but I still have all the same functionality from the original. Some of the stuff's just been shifted to this ball over here rather than the soccer ball, because I'm adding some extra features, and I'll have a video about those extra features in a little bit. So first issue that's given in the challenge is that when you hit the enemy, which in the original is this ball right here, it comes towards you. It can come in here. You can see now it goes away from you. If we come into the code here, come down here and see that this code right here, if the player when the player collides with the enemy, I believe that one of these in here was negative, the vector 3 away from the player. I believe that was reversed in the code that it was originally given. And then that tells the to go away from you when with the right amount of force when you need it. And you can see that that's also where the power up and normal strength are added in. The next thing was that we come into here again. I didn't solve this issue, so well, it's with my odd thing here. If we hit that and get the ball to score, 1 second. The issue was that a new wave spawns when you collect the power up, rather than when you score. So you can see now if I score this guy, 2 of them spawn for the second wave, and when I collect the power up here, we don't get a second or a third wave to spawn. So that was in the spawn manager code here. Let's see here, where was that issue? So in here you spawn wave, and you can see that that's called up here if enemy count equals 0. I think those had something to do with if you collected the power up, then it would spawn the next wave, so that got changed to enemy count rather than power up. And you could see in the little example there that the power up went away after a few seconds. That was one of the other issues, that it wouldn't go away after some time, so I had to use this coroutine here. So when the power up is picked up, which is this function right here, then it starts this coroutine, which waits for seconds with the power up duration, which is set up here to 5 seconds. And then the has power up equals false, and the power up indicator goes away. So that's how that issue is solved. And you also saw my example here that once I scored the first one, then 2 balls were spawned. In the original, it was always spawning 2 balls. So now it goes up by 1 every time that one of them scored. So that's in the spawn manager here. So I'll start off assigning the wave count to 1, so that when the first round is called balls to spawn is this wave count, just 1, and that's assigned here. And then each time that you can go to 0, then 1 gets added to the wave count, so this number goes up, so it would be 2 on the second one and 3 on the third round, so you progressively get more soccer balls each time you finish scoring. The next issue was in the original, the soccer ball is supposed to move towards the player goal, because it's like the enemy in the game, and you're trying to score it in this goal, rather than it scoring itself in your goal. And here, since I just left it as the black one tries to come over here, so you can look at how the black one moves itself towards the player goal, as in trying to make this guy be sort of like an AI and score the soccer balls against you. So you can see the black ball is moving towards player goal. Initially that was supposed to be the soccer ball, but as I said, I just changed it around. And that was done in this enemy code here. So it says right here, you have this vector 3 that it goes towards the player goal, and this normalized here means that the vector is always going to have a length of 1, so it goes the same speed anywhere it is. It doesn't get progressively faster or slower depending on where it is on the field. And then you add the force in this look direction here with whatever speed you set, and we'll talk about the speed in a second here. And then the first bonus was to give the player a turbo boost. So if we come back into the game here, you probably saw me use it the first time. But if you press the space bar, then it gives you a turbo boost. And it makes this pink smoke come out of the ball. Here, you can see it here. So moving forward, hit the space bar and it makes me go a lot faster. You can also see up in the corner here, I have this little icon. I just added that as an indication of when the turbo was available. And just to make it a little bit easier, and that you could only use the turbo, I think I set it to every 5 seconds, so you couldn't just spam the spacebar. And this was just so that you could see when it was available and when it wasn't available. So if we come into the player controller here, we can look at this right here. This is where I use the turbo. So I have this if statement that if your input if you give the spacebar input and use this boolean of the turbo being available, set it to true at the beginning so that you can have it right off the start. Then you have this multiply the force on the player's ball by this turbo speed multiplier, and then it plays the turbo smoke, and it starts this coroutine, which is the cooldown, so the time in between that you have to wait before you can use it again, and the turbo availability indicator, that's a little lightning bolt up in the corner, so that's set to false, done the same way as the little ring when you get the power up. And the turbo available is set to false, and then the coroutine, after it waits for, let's see what I set it for, 5 seconds, then the turbo is made available again, and the indicator is shown on the screen again. And then the last bonus was that the enemies should speed up for each wave. Again, I've just done that on the black ball. And if we come into the spawn manager here, we can see that every time that we spawn balls, the enemies, I have this enemy speed, which is set to 10 originally, so that's the initial speed that it can go, equals the wave count, so the number of times that you've gone through times 10. I just found that worked pretty well. And then in my enemy code here, I have a float for the speed, which calls the variable in the spawn manager, and sets speed for the enemy to enemy speed in the spawn manager, so what's set right here. Just exit out that, let me open that back up. So then that speed is used down here, so the speeds that set in the spawn manager is then the speed that is used for the speed of the enemy.